arrived here at Lake Heritage early hours of Saturday morning, and once we got on the lake we did a very slow setup, and I didn't fish the rods till after dinner, about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock last night. It's been a very difficult week, the last 3 weeks on the lake. There's been folk that have been up here and blanked, very little caught from some anglers. The lake can be very moody, especially in the sort of July and August months, with the temperatures rising, the high pressure, and basically just very humid weather. We've started down on peg 1 and 2, and I'm now up in peg 6, just doing a day session to allow the swim to rest down below. Nothing to report yet, but to be honest, that's very much to be expected with how it has been fishing. I'm optimistic, as I always am, that we will prevail. It's just myself and Dad again for another year. We're practically here pretty much the same week we were last year, give or take 1 day, and the conditions are very similar, to be honest, and it really fished well for us last year. That just goes to show the moodiness of this lake, because conditions last night were pretty much the same. Now, the only thing I can say that has been in our favour is there was a massive thunderstorm and lightning storm this morning through till about 10 o'clock, and that really has helped cool things down a bit, although the temperatures are still sitting sort of in the very high 20s to early mid 30s. But once this place gets used to it, it usually fishes okay in those temperatures. I have just decided for this afternoon to fish up the top end of the lake. It causes three real things. If leads and lines are going in here, it helps move the fish about with more pressure up one end of the lake to maybe bring the fish back down to where we're fishing overnight. It also gives you an opportunity here for a daytime bite, and it also allows you to rest the swim that you usually fish, and allow fish to get round and investigate that bait and feel confident to come down and feed. I'm doing so far exactly the same as what I always do here. I've bottom baits tipped with a little half pop-up, and I'll probably see how that fishes for the next day or two. I'm more than happy to mix it up. We've got stuff there to fix. We've got stuff there to fish zigs if we have to. Particle, boilie. We'll just literally try everything, throw everything in the kitchen sink at this week until we can get something that actually works. It's been a wee while since the last update. It's Tuesday evening. You'll see from the overlay in the video here that I did have a small mirror Monday evening, 18.6 £6. So a welcome start to the trip, but obviously it's been extremely slow. Temperatures have been through the roof, the pressure has been very high, the lake has been off its game for at least 3 weeks, and we're here really just scratching for bites. We've moved during the day. I've had zigs on, I've been on several pegs. I feel like Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere, man. I've been on this peg, I've been on peg 4, I've been on peg 6, I've been on peg 9. I've really just tried to make opportunity happen. I had a massive tench of about 8 or 9 pound, and a lost fish, which I assume was another tench. If it wasn't, it was another small carp. So it seems to be there are smaller fish feeding. Fish are showing, and when rigs are dropped on their head, absolutely nothing. So we're just really playing on this peg the bait and weight game. We've given plenty of time to rest the swim, and the temperatures are finally starting to go our way a tiny bit. We're seeing a bit less warm weather, so hopefully that will do the trick, but we'll have to just wait and see what sort of comes from that. But it's been a funny old trip. The food's been fantastic, the crack's been good, the weather's been blisteringly hot, which has been hard to do anything, and the fishing's been pretty pathetic. But that being said, there's still all of Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night into Saturday morning, so still over half the time to make something happen. I'm not going to panic just yet, but we'll see what the evening brings, and hopefully I'll have something else to show you. What I will do during another part of the video here is I'll give you a walk through our baiting station, aka the back of the car, and let you see kind of what we've been up to. It's a bit of chaos here. We really need to get some tidying up done, as we've been moving things and looking for things and trying to scratch our head and make things happen. But I'll let you see what we're up to, and hopefully I'll have an update with you during the evening with a fish, hopefully to show for it. I'm hopeful. Catch you in a bit. Well, good evening. It's Wednesday night, about 8 o'clock, and there hasn't really been that much to say. This morning I had a grassy, it was exactly £36, and then after that was put back tench, and more tench. We just were absolutely tenched out. Some lovely tench, if that's what you were going for, but it really hasn't run away with itself. All we've had is that 18.5 pound mirror, that grassy, and a couple of tench. It's been very, very poor, and to be honest, we've been scratching our heads and trying to think what could we do differently. We've moved around the pegs, we've tried sort of everything going, we've had zigs out. Anything we've tried, it just has fallen flat in its face. The only thing I can put it down to is the amount of heat over the last couple of weeks, and then the air pressure as well has been through the roof. But today was a real break in that weather cycle, where we had rain, overcast, and it was only about 23-24 degrees, so a stark change. So I'm hoping going into this evening and into first light in the morning we could end up with something else, but it's been pretty pathetic to say the least. But at least we're keeping at it with the rods out again, and hopefully tonight finally we'll have something to properly show. As I say, I didn't even video that small mirror. You'll just see a very poor quality of the image of it there in the overlay of the video at some point, and then the grassy I think we did get on the GoPro, so you'll hopefully see a bit of that. It was just kind of get it out. We've seen one, seen them all. You know, it was under 40, so I usually I did pose for a photo for it just because we've had very little to show. But usually with those, we kind of just put them back, because that's not what we're here for, although they do make a cracking photo and people are impressed by them. But we have got the rods back out on the money again, and just another night of it, and we'll see what happens. But I am going to take you through here and show you where we're baiting up, and look at the rigs as well. Here's the baiting station. Right, well here's our baiting station. Boilie, boilie, boilie. That's the lake pellet. So plenty of scoops of that have been going in. More boilie. Hemp. Corn, and that's pretty much the height of it. But it's a handy wee spot just to get the bait made up for the evening. So I want to make up a fresh mix, and that's pretty much what it is. We've been putting the mainline smart liquid in with that as well, and that's made up the majority of what we've been doing. But I can't really say it's made any difference because the fishing's been weak, but we'll give it a go. It was sitting with a bag of sweets and the stuff. Check in the bag. Hard to beat, isn't it? Right, let me come round this side.
It's near 100 pound of fish in it, they're all with attention though, already. Wonders my rod's broke.
You'd rather them be broke than this?
Are you getting it here?
Is it not on the screen?
Yeah, yeah. Antibiotic, it'll be alright. What's nice? He looks apart, Darl.
It's good, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Really does. Nice fish. Maybe 24, 25.
Right. Just under 24.
There you go, man.
Just over 23 and a half.
There you go, 23 and a quarter. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a bit of grass for it. Hold on. Friska. My goodness.
Well, good evening. We're into the last night here at Lake Heritage. If I had to sum it up in one word, it would be grim. It's been a very, very hard week fishing, really scratching for bites, as you've seen. We've had those two carp, 18.5 pound and 40 pound, 4 ounces. 4 grass carp, I think it's been, up to 42. I think there's been 2 40s, a 36 and a smaller grassy, and more tench than you could shake a big stick at. So it's been very difficult. Look, it's nothing to do with the venue. The venue is an absolutely cracking venue. It has been. It fished its head off for us last year. Weather has been the biggest factor, and anybody that knows, coming away in France in July, August is just a dangerous game that really lakes can't switch off. And when you're coming this far through from Calais, about 6 hours, you're really running the risk of a hard week. But it's just been difficult. I've had those fish dads still to get off the mark, but again, the lads from last week and the week before, there's been several blanks all around. I think my 40 is possibly the biggest fish that's been out in several weeks. So although it has been hard, I have to be grateful for what I have caught. The food's been absolutely bang on. On top of all that as well, I've ended up at the doctor's. My arm blew up like the Elephant Man, 3 times the size it should be. It's come all the way down now, but I ended up having to get antibiotics, prednisolone for swelling, other crazy antihistamines and other things. Ran me about €100, but very efficient compared to what we have at home. Phone call made, seen the doctor within half an hour, medication straight after that, and back to the peg, so I can't complain. And I have to say a massive thank you to Sean the bailiff, who got me an appointment with a doctor and did me the runaround to get me up there and translated everything for me into French. But it just shows you come to places like this that look like a one-horse town, but in actual fact the healthcare was bang on and out of this world. It's been fantastic. We are in the last night. It is a mild evening. I think for me now, I'm just hoping Dad gets something before we go, so it's not been a wasted trip on his part, although he's enjoyed the relaxation. But the rods are out while they're in the water. It can only mean good things, and hopefully I have something good to say to you. If you have enjoyed this vlog, do make sure you do subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Tight lines. Well, it's that all familiar scene here at Lake Heritage. Last night I had a grassy, I think it was another 40, And then this morning I had grassy just on pack up about £30. So not a great week's fishing, to be honest, with those 2 king carp as the only carp. 6 grassies and about 6 or 7 tench. But I just want to say a big thumbs up to Arthur here, good lad. It's good night from me and it's good night from Arthur.